Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Come on in. We have some wise latecomers. Just come and join us. And I just got back from Dallas, where there was a Cantors convention, where they announced with absolutely no irony, the high today is 100 and the low tonight is 81. Low tonight is 81. So I feel right at home here. It's very mild and moderate. And we have some wonderful young friends to help bring Shabbat in with us. And if you open up your prayer books to page 5, we're going to sing together with them, Hine Matov. After me. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day.
Was talking about the weather and the heat, and later in the summer we're all going to be complaining if one of these Shabbat services gets canceled and we have to go inside for the rain. So it's moments like this that I actually thank God for the sun and the sky, the incredible moments that we have together in this Shabbat. So just take a deep breath in. Enjoy this moment as we turn to page 13 in our prayer books and invite Linda Foreman to come forward to light our Shabbos candles and lead us as we welcome Shabbat.
This is Israel's day of light and joy, a Shabbat of rest. As we kindle these Shabbat flames, may there be light and joy, happiness and holiness, serenity and peace in our homes and in our hearts. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
On page 17, we continue praying responsively. Sing a new song to God. Sing unto God, praise God's name. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Let the field and its creatures exult. Who comes to judge the earth, to rule the world with justice. We continue with Lecha Dodi on page 27.
Chatzi Kaddish on page 34.
Shabbat, v'yitbar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekul shab, v'ila min kol birchata, v'shirata, tush bechata, v'nechemata, damir al me'alma, v'yimeru, amen. Rise together. La 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 hu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Vaed Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Vaed.
At the top of page 36, because this is our first time outside, join with me together in prayer. Master of the universe, grant me the ability to be alone. May it be my custom to go outdoors each day, among the trees and grasses, among all growing things, there to be alone and enter into prayer. There may I express all that is in my heart, talking with you to whom I belong. And may all grasses, trees, and plants awake at my coming. Send the power of their life into my prayer, making whole my heart and my speech through the life and spirit of growing things, made whole by their transcendent source. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, O God, who loves our people Israel with an unending love, on page 38. We are loved by an unending love.
We are embraced by the covenant of Abraham and Sarah.
We are guided by the still small voice within us.
We are warmed by the light of Torah,
We are loved by an unending love,
an eternal flame,
a ner tamid to be tended from generation to generation,
an eternal love,
and a gentle love,
love of a parent for a child,
giving meaning to our existence, structure to our lives,
love of Abraham and of Sarah,
and of all the generations who have embraced their covenant.
Here's a new one, but so easy you can learn in one moment. Just sing with me. It goes like this. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. That's all it is. Just sing with me, every voice. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. One more time, just sing that melody. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Now, the next time we sing it, just imagine perhaps instead of being just one person, or just like many parts of one person, yeah? Like I've got many parts of my body. I've got 2 hands, but they're me. Got 2 feet, but they're me. I've got eyes and a nose. They're all me, yeah? So we're just like that. Many parts in one whole, yeah? With me, Hear, O Israel. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. One last time, just the voices now, just voices. Hear, O Israel, Adonai, our God is one. Together, Shema Israel. seated. We continue on page 43. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Earlier this week, my son, my middle son, Zach, left for the teen mission to Israel with Rabbi Later. And I texted her from my house to the airport in New York, just making sure they had gotten there safely. And what I said to her was, I was so glad that he was with her. And then in parentheses, I said, and therefore not at home with us right now. It's good to be free of our children for a little bit in the summertime, and yet I miss him terribly right now. And yet, I think that's the reality of freedom. Sometimes when we arrive in freedom, we sometimes miss what we had. That must have been what our ancestors felt in the desert. And so as we sing this song of freedom, we are thankful for our freedoms, but also longing for our history, for our connections. We never want to go back to slavery. And yet that memory continues to be a part of our lives as we move forward. We join together in this song of freedom, Mi Chamocha, on page 46.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך, כמוך, מי כמוך, כמוך אוסף אליהם, מי כמוך, כמוך, מי כמוך, כמוך אוסף אליהם. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא כמוך, מי כמוך, כמוך אוסף אליהם, נורא כמוך, מי כמוך, כמוך אוסף אליהם.
מלכותך ראו בניך, וכהים לפני משה, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי ודע אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We turn to page 49 now. I ask you to join together in this prayer for Shabbat. Those who keep the Sabbath and call it a delight will rejoice in your deliverance. And all who hallow the seventh day shall be gladdened by your goodness. This day is Israel's festival of the Spirit, sanctified and blessed by you, the most precious of days, a symbol of the joy of creation. We go back one page to page 48 for Vishamru.
We rise together for the avot. Adonai, sefatai tiftachu fi agidinatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, Elyon, Komel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Hastei Avot ve'Imaot, U'me'yevi Geula, Livnei B'nehem, Le'mahan Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah.
On page 52 at the bottom of the page, we join together. Prayer invites us to let God's presence suffuse our spirits, to let God's will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can, an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol, blessed are you, O God, who renews all things.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. As you're seated, we pray silently.
Elohai nitzol shoni mera usfatai midaber mima Rim kalalai nafshi tidom venafshi kafala koti Elohai Elohai nitzol shoni mera usfatai midaber mima Rim kalalai nafshi tidom venafshi kafala koti Elohai nitzol shoni mera usfatai midaber mima Rim kalalai nafshi tidom venafshi kafala koti Elohai nitzol shoni mera usfatai midaber mima Rim kalalai nafshi tidom venafshi kafala koti Elohai Elohai Yuliratzonim refi Ve'hegyon libi lefanecha
On page 66, we continue with Mishaberach. Again, how lucky we are to be able to be here, to have our health. And at times that health fails us and we find ourselves needing a little bit of an extra blessing. Or a member of our family is in need and we're praying for them. This is that moment in our service when we breathe deeply into this place and realize the healing power not only of these words, but of this community. So we join together now in prayer, Mishaberach.
Hey bless those in need of healing with rueful wash in their mouth. The renewal of body, the renewal of the Spirit, and let us say,
It felt so great sitting out there with you, facing this way. About 1 year ago, a photographer was sent to Temple to take my picture. I made that unforgivable mistake of asking her about her camera, with the implication if I had her camera, I could probably take pictures just like she does. Now, she must have heard this often because she told me the following story. A well-known photographer went to a dinner party where he showed many of his photographs. The lady of the house, the host of the party, said, "Those are very nice pictures. You must have a great camera." He said nothing, but when leaving the home, offered the following compliment to the lady of the house. "The meal was excellent. You must have great pots and pans." Michael, come on. Our photo shoot then continued. She thought that it would be interesting to include me with the photo of the sculpture of David playing the harp. As I stood near the sculpture, which is to my right, I noticed that the base had been covered over. It had been hidden by earth, rose bushes surrounded it, and you could not see the base at all. David playing the harp by the Israeli artist Victor Halvani, which was found by my wife on a Temple Israel mission in Tzvat, is one of a small series. You can see a similar piece in the beautiful Mamilya Walk that leads to the Old City in Jerusalem. Now, the base of the sculpture has now been revealed. It sits as the artist intended. Now, I have a question. How many of the regulars here noticed the difference? My wife noticed the difference. 1 out of thousands, that's not bad. That's what I figured. Now, if you entered into our Harriet and Morton Freeman Outdoor Sanctuary under the cupola, did you notice the sculpture by the artist Mark Chatterley right over there? Celebrating family. Or were you engaged in conversation, or perhaps racing by, focused on getting one of the seats in the shade? You entered on the path from the parking lot. Did you stop for a moment by our newest addition to the collection by the artist Aharon Bezalel, which will be dedicated at the Aleinu? To the left of me is the wonderful Boy on the Rock created by the artist Ellie Dolgen. Her son happens to be married to my daughter. After services, slow down on your way to the Kiddush. Let me say that again. Slow down on your way to the Kiddush. Stand by the boy and you'll see that his book is inscribed with Hebrew words. Lilmod l'lamed. Study and teach. Or pause in front of family relations. A whole group of people have gathered around Family Relations by John Carl on the path to my right. Our garden is beautiful, and we're so grateful that it is enhanced by many significant works of art. We have watched it transform and have enjoyed it in that transformation, and we do look forward to the summer outdoor services at a lower temperature, perhaps. In an age when our nation has been focused on ecology, and this is Ecology Shabbat, we think about protecting our environment, enhancing our environment. There is the need to pause for a moment and simply take a moment and look around and enjoy the beauty of this place, of the world created by God. Now, I believe that some of my happiest moments and most memorable and peaceful moments during travels that I have made around the world have taken place in gardens. Formal gardens, at times discovered inadvertently, or a destination that has been planned, or simply a walk where I see beautiful wildflowers on a mountain. I enjoy my garden at home. For years, I worked with my own tiller. I pulled the weeds, mulched, and added new and interesting plants. 2 years ago, at the insistence of my body, I hired others to do the upkeep. I had become quite proficient at pointing. Gardens are beautiful. Gardens are peaceful. And gardens are often wonderfully creative. Now, the most famous garden in our tradition, the Garden of Eden, Gan Eden. When you tell about Garden Eden, you often speak about the transgressions of Adam and Eve. According to this etiological myth, a story intended to teach a lesson. Our existence was transformed from blissful passivity in paradise to a life of activity, with death our destiny. For a moment, imagine how beautiful and peaceful must have been this beautiful, mystical garden of biblical tradition, which leads me to a wonderful story of how a Brit, a Frenchman, and a Russian viewed a painting of Adam and Eve frolicking in the Garden of Eden. Look at their reserve, look at their calm, muses the Brit. They must be British. Nonsense, says the Frenchman, who disagrees. They're clothed only in a leaf, and so beautiful. Clearly, they're French. No clothes, no shelter, the Russian points out. They only have an apple to eat, and they're being told this is paradise. They're definitely Russian. Paradise, you see, is in the eyes of the beholder. This is a beautiful Shabbat in our garden. It is summer, and the living should be easy, because you're jumping, and the cotton is high. Come during the week and see our children playing at camp. I love walking around the temple this time of year and watching preschoolers running from place to place. In our other beautiful garden, they scamper through sprinklers. Their greatest worry, will snack come? And do I really have to leave a fun activity to go to the bathroom? So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Unfortunately, this peace and calm is far from the reality most of us experience. Summertime and the world is changing. Some in our nation exhilarated, others falling into despair. We worry. We worry about families separated. We have children and we have grandchildren. A good man retires from the Supreme Court, and there are those who see our nation moving backward, others who are thrilled. Every election is a victory or a tragedy. I've yet to find a way or figure a way to escape from the constant noise, to pull the plug. It's summertime. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. Soon we will celebrate the 4th of July, a moment when politics are pushed aside, or is every parade led by a politician. It is time for us to focus on and celebrate the birth of our nation, and to take pride in our accomplishments. July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence. One of these mornings, you're going to rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. So much history in our short 241 years. So much change. We grow stronger with the passage of years. The lyrics of Porgy and Bess remind us of the spiritual sung by those who were enslaved in our land. They speak of the possibility of freedom, the possibility of opportunity. Our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents dreamed about America, a golden Medina, a land, a garden, streets paved with gold. It is our task, and we must accept it with courage and dignity, to build our nation based upon the ideals of the founders, on the foundation established for us by those who worked so hard that we would have the opportunities that we so often in our time take for granted. The 4th of July is more than fireworks. We've seen beautiful fireworks already, and we'll see many more fireworks in the coming days. We celebrate the fact that we live in a country where change is possible through the ballot, not the bullet. We do not forget the challenges that exist, but we take a moment as we will kindle that 241st candle on the large cake that is the United States and its people and its history and its future. Our nation is strongest when we are introspective and speak to each other with openness and listen to each other with compassion. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. As in the case of David playing the harp, we need to find the hidden bass that stands under the evolving sculpture of this great nation. As we speak out for what we value, we also need to celebrate the best of America in the beautiful garden of our history. Shabbat Shalom.
From the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. Come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around.
Another clearly.
We come from the Torah, turn the world around.
Do we know who we are?
We come from the Torah, turn the world around.
Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do you know who you are? See we one another. Do you know who we are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Hey, whoa, so is life. Ah, so is life. Whoa, so
We are so thankful for our singers tonight, Megan, Gwynnie, Cedar, and Jamie, who have beautified our service. You guys have been awesome. Madison, wrong name, Madison. I got it. Perfect, Madison, also. Give them all a wonderful round of applause. And now, I'm inviting a member of our executive committee. Brian Frank is coming forward to deliver our congregational announcements. I got that name right.
I am not Madison. Shabbat Shalom. Do you want to learn how to navigate your flow of consciousness more masterfully? Join our new Kabbalah class, User's Guide for the Soul, and gain tools to discover your highest self. Taught by Cantor Smolash Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. Please contact Maya at the temple to RSVP. Join other young adult women in their 20s through 40s and their mothers, aunts, grandmothers, sisters, and friends on Thursday, July 12th at 6:30 p.m. for this girls' night out. You will enjoy an evening of delicious food, great wine, inspiring discussion of the book Fall of Marigolds by Susan Meissner. This year, the Stephen Gottlieb concert will feature Mikey Parker on Sunday, July 15th at 5 p.m. Mikey Parker's music is elevated by catchy melodic hooks and reggae rock beats. His latest hit song, Rise, has over 1 million Facebook views. Come hear Mikey blend ecstatic music festivals with Hebrew roots at the beautiful concert. Following the concert, there'll be a complimentary picnic dinner. RSVPs must be made for dinner by Wednesday, July 11th. Register online or contact Sandy Stocker. For further information or to RSV or volunteer for any of these programs, check the information table as you leave or call temple offices during regular business hours. Please join us after services for the Oneg and Shabbat greetings. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the officers of Temple, let me wish each of you Shabbat Shalom.
So now we have an opportunity to dedicate the beautiful sculpture that Rabbi Loss mentioned in his sermon that will be our newest in our ever-growing sculpture garden. It's really amazing to be able to walk around out here and just take a look at the art. From where I'm standing, I can see our new sculptures, and I'd really like to invite Dr. Gerald Krause and his family, Judy and Mark Metzger, to come forward at this time. So join us up here. And while they come forward, I just want to share a little bit of the story of this particular sculpture, because in 1976, Phyllis of blessed memory and Dr. Gerald Krause, who's here with us, along with their children, took a family trip to Israel. And they wanted to bring something home and were introduced to the artist Aharon Bitzalel. They chose not to purchase at that time the large 3-piece sculpture, but rather brought another piece home to their living room. And 2 years later, were called by the artist, giving them the opportunity to, the last chance, sort of the last dibs at this one piece, and they decided to add it to their personal collection in their home. It was positioned in their backyard, and if you listen carefully to the story, it's exactly what Rabbi Loss was talking about. They saw every day from their home this mother and father and child, and it was really wonderful for them. And a couple of years later, the artist himself came to the United States and was visiting and asked if he could come look at the sculpture in their backyard. And when he got there, he saw that he didn't like the way that they were positioned. So the artist himself repositioned the 3 pieces, and they stood there for many, many years in the Krause's backyard. Today, we are honored to welcome this 3-piece sculpture into our garden. And I just want to give you a quote that is from the Metzger family and the Krause family. Temple Israel has been like a second family. The clergy has been with us in good times and in bad. Rabbi Syme married us in my parents' backyard with our beloved bronze family looking on. It is for this reason that Gerald Krause has chosen to gift this beloved sculpture to our Temple Israel family in memory of his dearly beloved wife, Phyllis Krause. We know that our mom is smiling down tonight and could not be happier with this new home. We are so honored to be able to welcome this sculpture here tonight as we turn to page 76 in our prayer book and rise, allowing the Metzger and Krause families to open our ark, celebrating our new piece of art. We give thanks to God for all of our gifts. We join together.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We turn now to the Kaddish and remember loved ones whose memories continue to abide in our hearts. We mention first the names of those who are in Shloshim, recent deaths in our congregational family. Joan Roth Adler, Alan Barnett, Theodore Baxter, Kathy Berman, Louis Berman, Lewin Bernardi, Janice Brandel, Rosalind Cohn, Leonard Dinkin, Henry Feldman, Murray Feldman, Teddy Fine, Stephanie Friedman, Seward Golden, Dr. Stan Halpern, Ethan Holtzman, Harold Kaller, Francis Kaner, Irving Kay, Fern Kopnick, Shelley Korash, Louis Liederman, Dr. Edward Lurchin, Alan Levin, Stephen Patler, Elaine Perlman, Dr. Stephen Pitt, Harry Pozar, Shirley Raskin, Harry Ross, Dr. Misha Sachs, Barbara Saxey, Rachel Shane, Howard Schlafer, Sharon Weisswasser, Harriet Weitz, Dr. Jules Altman, Edith Butramitz. We also mention the names of those who have died in this season and years past. Gary Cohn, Zachary M. Talon Edelson, Selma Eisner, Albert Farber, William Frank, Leo Hack, Mary Heller, Sheila Jaffe, Ruth Krockmal, Natalie Lax, Anna Moroff, Nathan Robbins, Jack Rosenberg, Esther Schachter, Robert Semmel, Minna Graf Scherling, Gertrude Traeger, Nathan Traeger, Maurice Victor, Leonard Warsh, Louis Levinson, Theodore Ross, Frank Saul, Beatrice Sulzer, Shirley Sonia Atanucci, Louis Tunick, Sylvia Tunick, Adam Stein, Reuben Benjamin, Sharon Davids, Mildred Shamitz, Myron Gerber, Mitchell Schechter, Zev Milikowski, Harry Riss, Irving Banner, Victor Lawson, Melvin Kramer, William Rosen, Julius Krause, Rose Halpern, and Dr. Maurice Sugar. We remember them all now as we rise and turn in our prayer books to page 80, page 80, as we continue together with Kaddish. Yidkadal v'yidkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam leolmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kedusha brichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlomo Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God send peace to all of us and comfort to those who are bereaved. And if there are any children who are missing the fact that I did not call you up for Aleinu, now is your chance to come up and get a little candy. Anybody under the age of 24 can come forward now And join us here on the Bima as we sing our closing song.
We conclude with Noam Katz medley about love and peace. We thank Gwynnie, Madison, Jamie, and Cedar. And by the way, that was an old outline that I put on there. It was my fault that we got the wrong name, so I apologize for that, Madison. And we conclude with these beautiful songs. Morning until day.